going to go ahead and use this time. This might be boring for some of you, but I'm going to kind of give you my rationale behind a lot of these systems and subsystems and what they're good for, and why I use them, and in what situations, and why I upgrade certain ones. Okay, so shields first off. Shields are great, very useful, but they tend to have a bit of diminishing returns. If you see right here to the right, I can't. Nope, I can't really point at it, but you see over here where it's saying 40, 60, 80, 100. That's showing you how much it costs for each one of these little bars. Now, you only get an extra shield thing at every two of those little bars you get. So you see how it says 1 shield, 2 shield bars, 3 shield bars, 4 shield bars. Well, that 4th shield costs 180 basically. Now, that for me is a lot of diminishing returns on shields. I usually am able to purchase that because I just am rolling in scrap by the end game, and I need to be spending it on something, and I might as well spend it on an extra level of shields if I want to pour a bunch of power into shields and be able to block a whole bunch of laser shots. It's pretty handy. The other thing is that's going to use up my limited amount of power bars, so I don't always want... Really, I find right around 2 or 3. 3 is a good amount of shields, and that's about all I'll invest in for a lot of the sectors until the boss. Engines. Engines are very handy. They also have some diminishing return problems, but unlike the shields, every single increase in bar adds a little extra dodge chance. Which added on top of, your expert pilot and expert engine person, these max out at 55% evade without shields. So, I mean, without cloak. So that's without the extra 60%. You almost have 60% just your engine and pilot guy. So you're going to be dodging every other weapon sent your way, which is pretty handy. Other than beam weapons, really. That's very handy. I max out engines as much as I can because you really, you get diminishing returns for how much scrap you're investing, but you might as well. Because there's the in-game, once you're not going to put all your scrap into this at first, but you're going to have scrap at the end. You might as well get that extra little bit, so if you want to pour all your stuff into engines to really increase your dodge chance, you want to do that. O2. Now, I pretty much upgrade this last. O2 I don't have any problems with. I've had a couple times where in an emergency I needed... Most of the time, my problems with O2 are if the system's shut down. If the system's shut down, having it larger isn't the issue. I mean, it would have lasted longer before it got shut down, I guess. It could take 1 or more hits before it gets down to the point where you're not getting oxygen in your ship. But I just don't find it worth investing versus other things. It's a very cheap upgrade. So if you want to put one into it that'll prevent people from disabling your shields with your oxygen with 1 hit, it might be worth it. Weapons. You're going to want to max your weapons because to get the maximum amount of firepower in all the fights, you're going to want as many weapons as you can hold. You're going to want to have 8 bars worth of weaponry. So you're going to want to max these. You can do it slowly and over time, and as you get weapons, you don't want to just do it for you've got scrap. You want to hold on to your scrap until you're using it. Like right now, I want to add 2 more, because if I add 2 more, I'll be able to use my burst laser 2 and the halberd beam at the same time, which will be a very handy combination. And I'll keep this one out over here, so that I can click it on if I need some extra firepower in a situation. And then eventually I'll get a 3rd one so that I can have all 3 going at once, or I'll probably have even newer weapons, hopefully. And yeah, medbay. Now, the medbay might be worth investing in if you if you're encountering a lot of fighting. That's probably worth investing in, because what you can do is you can just put a whole bunch of power in the med bay for like a few seconds from some other place like oxygen, and then you can get your crew members back in tip-top fighting shape really quickly with that 3rd level med bay, and then you can get them back out in the fight, and then you can take back the power from the med bay and then put it back where it needs to be. So it'll mean you can get your people back up quicker, and you won't have the power always in that med bay as much time. You'll have more power in it, but for a shorter amount of time. So it can be worth it. It's just not a high priority for me. Cloaking, I already mentioned this. You want to upgrade this. You want to do it incrementally. You don't want to do it all at once, but it's a very handy thing to be able to have 10 seconds of cloak, and then eventually 15 seconds of cloak. But pretty much 10 seconds is going to do you just fine in most fights. Okay, subsystems. These are a special category. People bug me all the time about why I don't improve these. I do improve them. I just needs to be the right situation. Probably just straight cost-benefit analysis. The best one of these, especially early on, is going to be door system. Door system, with the improvement of blast doors, it makes it take longer for the invaders, someone who teleports onto your ship. It makes them take longer to get through them. So you can open up all the oxygen in the area that they're in, and they can't really do anything about it. And they're trying to get in through a door, and they're dying of, suffocation. Sensors are used in a couple different special blue events, those little blue options. So it might be worth upgrading them if you're going into a nebula, I think. Maybe not. Like, nebulas disable your sensors, but I think they're used in a few encounters, special events. So it might be worth getting both of these, especially piloting. I think when you want to improve piloting is if you're going into a slug sector or a nebula sector. If you really don't have a choice, or if you're about to go into some nebulas, you're going to want to improve piloting, because there's a whole bunch of events that have to do with piloting, I believe. So yeah, that can be pretty handy. Finally, you have your reactor bars, your power bars, your reactor. You're going to want to get these as you need them, but you might consider, especially if you're going into a nebula, investing in a few more than you actually need. If you have some spare lying around and there's no stores in sight, and you're in a nebula, you might want to put like 2 in there, because that's going to give you some extra power to play around with in case of an ion storm, which could be the difference between life and death in an ion storm. But the good thing about an ion storm is it also hurts your enemy's power as well, so just keep that in mind. They're going to be fighting at a disadvantage as well, so it's pretty much even. So really, they're not that big a deal. Okay, I'm really sorry for that long-winded thing, but I wanted to give you just a brief idea about how I view all the different systems and subsystems. I'm sure people are going to disagree with me and are going to value certain things more than others, and pretty much almost all of the systems and subsystems, I don't think door system has anything, or I don't think the oxygen has anything, but pretty much every other one has blue events associated with higher levels than level 1. So the med bay, I think maybe cloaking. Cloaking in general, though, allows you some blue events. Mostly blue events I don't want to use because they prevent you from getting some scrap. But sensors and piloting both have blue events that I've missed out a lot on because I don't always invest in them when maybe I should. But they don't... Sorry, I forgot to mention their explicit use. I mentioned that they have blue events associated with them, but what they do is the sensors, the first level upgrade allows you to see the interior of an enemy ship, and the 3rd level sees where their power is, which can be handy if they have engines. Like, you can see how many engines they have, or where their power is located, and like where they can shift their power. It can be handy for where you need to target. I've used it before. It can be helpful. Now, the piloting, is also kind of situational, but it adds an autopilot the higher levels that give you see a quarter evasion and a half evasion. Now you get that if your person is outside of the pilot. So if you don't have a pilot in the pilot chair, you'll still be able to have some of your dodge percentage. It won't go straight down to 0 as soon as you look. If you move this person, oh, suddenly I'm without evade. That kind of sucks. If you're having to deal with invaders and you need an extra person, you can still make use of your evade, but not as much of it. Okay, that was very long-winded. Thank you for bearing with me. I can understand if you want to skip some of that, but I really want to help newcomers out in seeing my rationale behind my purchasing decisions. So there you go. There you have it. I'm going to continue on, and let's keep going. That took a while. Let's keep going. So you can size up the situation for yourself, but I'm going to... Actually, no, you know what? I'm just going to go straight for shields. You guys should have come to that decision too. I really don't need to worry about this guy's weaponry at all. So I may as well go for his shields. I disabled his piloting there because I saw I missed one of those, so I felt like I really don't want to be missing anymore, so let's make sure I don't. But I didn't have to worry about his weapons, so target his shields and his piloting. Might as well. Maybe I resisted. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe I didn't miss. I don't know. You guys can tell me. I missed it. Molly Cloquet. Pirates. This guy's got a laser and a heavy laser. Don't think any of those fire more than one. This one might. But I'm going to go ahead and target his shields. I think both those just fire one. We'll find out. Yep. So, notice they can't really do anything to me. I've got 2 levels of shields, and yeah, basically good. Oh, saw my pilot just leveled up. Didn't my engine guy? Huh. I must have not had him in engine one of the times. Anyways, so I might as well let them keep firing at me, because as they fire at me with these lasers that can't pierce through my shields, either they'll miss or they'll damage my shields, which raises my shield skill on this guy, or raises my piloting and stuff chance. So I see no reason to target. Look at that. Just leveling up my guys right and left. Really no reason to damage his weapons. Let them keep shooting at me. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make my way down, I think. I'm only really gonna make, I think, this one in one more spot, and I'll have to fight through one guy. Ooh, attempt evasive maneuvers. Ship's charting circle for you, and they might attempt a controlled detonation using a missile. Okay, I didn't lose anybody, did I? No. Okay, good. So I took some damage. Lost a missile, I'm sure. Did I gain some scrap? I might have gained some. Okay, well, it looks like I don't even... Okay, in this situation, you can see my initial plan was to go to one of these and then go to the exit. But all these are covered. So I've got 2 shields here, and this is only the second sector. I think I can go back out here and visit this place I haven't visited yet to get more scrap. It's a little bit risky because I'm going to have to fight through 2 elite fighters that I don't get anything for defeating. I get 1 fuel for defeating. So, yeah. Okay, so in this situation, we have a heavy laser, as well as this thing. We have not encountered one of these things yet so far in this playthrough, I'm pretty sure. This thing is a telebomb type weapon, where it teleports a bomb straight onto our ship, and I think it's random. I think the AI does it randomly, which is kind of sad. I kind of wish they had some smarter enemies, like in later sectors, that did some targeted smart things. But I think it does it randomly, so it could go to a bunch of these empty rooms. But and then it deals damage to the system that's in it, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and try to shut that down, because it can bypass my shields. I can still dodge it, I believe, or it misses sometimes, I know that. So we might as well. There we go. Don't have to worry about weapons anymore. Take down its shield so it starts taking damage from the asteroid field, and I think we should be good. Look at that. Just taking damage. Okay. Now, in this situation, I think this might be... I think this is on the inside. So if I go here, I'm going to encounter the fleet. So I'm not entirely sure of that, but I'm pretty sure of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start heading back. It might have been worth it to risk it, but then I'd have to fight through 3 of these guys, which would be pretty annoying. I mean, you already see this crap I'm dealing with right here. Let's take that guy down. Okay, so this guy's got a missile and a laser. Missile's really the big problem. Okay, that's not good. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to launch this really quick. Okay, and then as it's out of here, there's another missile incoming from this guy. I'm going to go ahead and put on my cloak. So I'm now cloaking, and I've got a 94% chance miss, evade. So I've got a pretty good chance. I already did miss it, but it wasn't guaranteed, but it was very, very likely that I was going to be able to dodge this missile. Now, the order of things I did there, I wanted to maximize a couple different things. I wanted to be able to get off my missile. Now, if I had cloaked first and then used my missile, well, I'm pretty sure missiles would have brought me out of cloak. I don't know. It's sometimes kind of random. Maybe it's not random. I don't know. I've noticed with some things you use don't bring you out of cloak. Maybe I might be wrong there. I might just be remembering something wrong. Or situations where I really had stealth weapons. Anyways, I wanted to get off my missile, so during this time, all my weapons are recharging. Now, my missile missed, which is unfortunate. I might be able to just make a run for my... Oh, no, I'm fine. I think I'm just going to make a run for my... this charging thing. Go. Okay. Don't really need the fuel, so I'm just going to make a run for it. No problem. Now this guy has a much bigger laser here, and another heavy laser, so I think this is bad. This is bad. These guys can wreak havoc. Okay, so they already damaged my shield a little bit, which is fine. I also got off my lasers, I think, there. And I dodged a bunch of stuff. So that was good. And I managed to damage them, so that's good too. Let's go ahead and follow up on that. Keep things damaging. Managed to dodge some of those. Now, it might be worth it even though I can run to keep damaging this guy. We'll see. See how that brought me out of cloak early? That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna keep damaging this guy, because then I'll get a free fuel from it, and I don't think this guy can damage me. He can get lucky and damage me, but it's not likely. Oof, that was close. That 34% dodge chance with, what is that, 4 or 5 shots? I guess that's probably 5. This is a burst laser Mark 3. Oh, see, I managed to take it down. See, things are going good. Who leveled up? Was that this guy? This guy level up? Yeah. So now this guy will be making it so that I recharge everything much quicker. Take down the shields. So sorry this is a little bit long. Sometimes you gotta have these long fights, and this is just for one resource, guys. But yeah, one resource, one fuel. But I knew I'd be able to do this pretty likely without taking any damage. It's not guaranteed yet, and holy cow, this guy is doing a really good job dodging all my shots. But annoying. Man, holy cow. Okay, I may jump here. I don't know why all of a sudden. He must have, all the power he lost here, he probably put to his engines. He probably had like, anyways, that's just annoying. Yeah, it's a little bit of a long, annoying fight here. Oh, I must have started a fire. Okay, see, I didn't realize this, and that must be why this weapon went down so easily. I was kind of surprised by that. All of a sudden, it just like dropped all the way down to red, even though he had a burst laser 4, and it hadn't been disabled yet. That's because I had a fire raging that all of a sudden did a whole bunch of damage, and it's kind of raging in here, and it just spread to this. There's not really any other way this could have gotten damage other than a fire spreading from this room to this room. Good to know. There's a slight, small chance of fire from this weapon. And it also spread to this room, which is good. Good. Very good. Okay. Fire took out the last bit of damage. Very nice. Get a fuel. And I get to jump to the next sector. So I have a choice between the NG homeworlds and the Uncharted Nebula. Now, I'm going to go for the NG homeworlds. I don't really like the Uncharted Nebula. It's a giant nebula that really doesn't slow down the enemy fleet like a normal nebula does. So there's really not any upside to it, in my opinion. At least in the NG homeworlds, there might be nebula that will slow down them. If you're looking for slugs, that's a pretty good place to go, is a nebula. But I'm not looking for slugs. 104 scrap. No stores in sight. Let's go ahead and start exploring this area. We are not going to pay their toll. We are going to fight them. They have a rocket, a missile, and a laser. Missile and a laser. So we want to disable their weapons because this missile, I've got a 34% chance of dodging it, but it can pierce my shields. So we want to take that sucker down as quickly as possible before he can launch. So yeah. I want to keep doing that. I went ahead and put that on auto fire, so doing good. Okay, so we'll take down the shield now. Doing fine. How are these guys doing? Okay, so they're almost leveled up. Okay, so they're offering me a bunch of fuel, a bunch of missiles, and a bunch of scrap. Not that much scrap. I want more scrap, so I'm gonna kill them and hopefully get around like 40 scrap. Okay, only 31. It probably would have been worth it for me to take that actually, because they gave me a ton of missiles and a ton of fuel. So it's not always worth it to take them down. I did get 11 more scrap, but I don't think that was worth it. But I'm glad. I'm not really glad. I'm just, whatever. I'll take it. I'm willing to take it. Okay, so in this situation, it's got 2 shields, That's pretty annoying, and it's a auto assault ship, so it's AI run. And I could use my cloaking to try to get past it, but then I wouldn't be able to fight this and maybe get some scrap, which I might not want to do because it has 2 shields. But you know what? I want the scrap. I'm going for it. I can feel this. They've just got a heavy laser and this thing. So let's go ahead and it's an ion blast. I think I can take out its shields. Yeah, let's do this. Uh-oh. Okay. Here's a strategy you can use. Try to do combined fire at a similar time or very shortly after. So I'm going to use a missile to try and take out its shields. Ooh, wait. Oh no. Dang it. I still had this on auto fire. Stupid auto fire. Stupid, stupid auto fire. I wasted those shots. Okay, so that was completely counter to what I was just trying to do. What I wanted to do, when I wanted to show you guys, and I'm sure I'll do it, is you launch a missile, and shortly after, as it takes down the shields, you then immediately fire your burst laser. So even if they repair it really quickly, you got it off without any of the laser, you know, wasted on the shields. Oh well. Oh well. What can I do? Not screw up next time. That's what I can do. This guy fully leveled up. Yeah, nice. See, look, he's getting plus 10 now. It's pretty sweet. See, I'm up to 37 of aid, and this guy's about to level up. And that'll be up to 40 of aid. There we go. Some nice stuff. Sorry about this teleporting missile now. Doesn't damage the hull, though. Or... yeah, it doesn't damage the hull, but does 2 damage to the system. Which can be good, especially in assaults. So continuing to explore. This guy's got a missile, only got 1 shield, and they teleported onto our ship. 2 Mantis guys. Okay. Probably should have upgraded my my doors by now. Yeah, I really should have upgraded my doors. This could be bad. This could be very bad. Oh no. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to take down everything. Just launch everything at that. There we go. Okay, so. Don't take down my sensors. Come on, there we go. Oh, oh, don't want that. I think we should be fine because we're fighting in the med bay. Yep, we're good. And we win. Okay, quickly close all our doors. Let's let the oxygen get back up. You can tell, okay, well, it just faded away, but you can tell when the oxygen is not in a room by a yellow border around the room. That means there's no oxygen in that room. Well, there's not much oxygen, and the amount of oxygen, because there's not much oxygen in that room, you're going to be damaged if you go into it right then. So try not to send people in there unless you really need to. Okay, so, oh, send him to the wrong place. Look at that, 40% evade now. Doing nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade that. Okay, so now I got some better door system. Now the great thing about subsystems is you don't need to actually have the power. They come with a power, and I don't have access to that power either. But they come with a power, so I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to be worried about powering it.